Thank you so much for joining us for this final segment of Broncos Beat. First off, guys, happy belated Father's Day to each and every one of you, and especially Matt. I mean, your very first Father's Day, it had to be great.
I'm just trying to take the lead from Frank and Cecil because they've got a couple more years on me. This is the first one. My son's only 7 months old, so I'm looking forward to the process.
Well, you guys, speaking of fathers, dads always have the best advice. Am I right? So what is the best piece of advice that your dad ever gave you that you would like to give to the Broncos heading into the 2020 season?
You know, my dad was a great guy, and the one thing he said, he was distrusting though, and he said, don't trust anybody. And that works for the 2020 Denver Broncos, and I say that because Drew Lock is getting a lot of hype right now. A lot of people are talking a lot of good things. We talked about Colin Cowherd before. He's all on the Drew Lock bandwagon. You know, Drew Lock, the 16th player off the board in this ESPN draft they had. I think Drew Lock needs to not trust that. He has not arrived yet. He had a very good 5 games. He has a lot of promise ahead of him, but he can't start reading his press clippings yet. He can't buy into this hype. He's got to keep his nose down, keep working, keep grinding. Don't trust all this positive coverage that's coming your way now. You haven't arrived yet. You've still got a long way to go. So don't trust anybody when it comes to the hype that's surrounding him in this offseason.
Literally, a conductor of the Drew Lock hype train, and you are just breaking my heart, Frank Schwab. I did not want to hear that.
Well, sage-like wisdom, though, coming from Frank and his father. And I will say, my father always said, birds of a feather flock together. Now, I didn't get it, you know, when I was a teenager and trying to run around, get in trouble. He's like, nope, birds of a feather. And this is where drafting comes in. You know, I'm always thinking about the draft. And John Elway finding these players that fit the Denver Bronco way. Okay, everyone talk about the New England way. No, forget the New England way. There's a Broncos way. It's been there for decades. Mr. Bolin implemented that as soon as he bought this team years ago. So the Broncos way, guys like Justin Simmons, we've talked about this entire show, right? He does it the Broncos way. So birds of a feather, find those people. You want to be successful in life? Put yourself around successful-minded people, goal-oriented people, and certainly the Denver Broncos have a goal of getting back to the championship. You do that by drafting well. Always done that 1, 2, 3 years in a row now. So keep it up and keep putting these players together that understand the Broncos way.
A couple of great pieces of advice there. I'm slowly, taking notes, jotting them down for my own future use here. One of the things that my dad said to me growing up, he's always stressed education. He said, there are going to be plenty of other people out there that have better natural talent, but what are you doing to outwork the next guy? What are you doing to study and get better? And I think we've seen that this offseason with Drew Lock, getting into the playbook, meeting up with guys away from the facility to get ready, get prepared, being able to outwork the next guy or outwork the next team to make sure you're prepared, I think is going to be huge with, as Cecil mentioned, a younger roster. So I think the study habits of Drew Lock and these younger players are going to be huge as we move into to training camp here.
And I will say this on Frank's the hype train thing, like with Colin Cowherd and Dan Orlovsky and all that, Fox Sports 5, man, catch up. Why, Alexis, you've been driving it from day one. So what is it with all these guys? What is it, Frank and Matt, what is it with these guys who are like, you know what, everybody? Drew Lock's kind of good. I'm like, oh, well, you didn't watch him in college? Come on.
It's not there yet. This is a whole now. We can start a whole another half-hour segment here, but it's not there yet. He's good. He did fine. The Broncos put a lot of guys around him. There's no excuses this year because he has got a great set of skill guys around him.
Fine, 4-1 is just fine.
The quarterbacks don't own the record. It's a team record. They played well. Drew Lock did his job. But he didn't go 4-1. He ain't playing tennis against the other quarterback. It's a team record. That's why kind of pumping the brakes a little bit on Drew. But, hey, we'll see this year. Yeah, like, again, no excuses. He should produce with this offense around.
Well, my daddy always said success is the best revenge. So I hope that they can stick it to you there, Frank Schwab.
That is pretty good. I like that.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for this week's edition of Broncos Beat. This was so much fun. Hey, be sure to follow all 3 of these guys on Twitter. You got, Frank Schwab at Yahoo Schwab. You have Cecil Lammey at Cecil Lammey, and you have Matt Boyer at Boyer_Matt. We will see you guys same time, same place next Monday.